In football, perfection is a myth, a dream chased but never caught. Every team, no matter how great, eventually stumbles. Every champion, no matter how strong, has a moment of weakness. But in the 2003-2004 season, one team dared to challenge that truth. They didn't just win, they conquered. They became immortal. This is the story of the Invincibles, Arsenal Football Club's extraordinary journey through a Premier League season without a single defeat. It was more than football. It was art, painted on green grass, choreographed in perfect motion, led by a man whose mind was years ahead of his time. But to truly understand how Arsenal became invincible, we must go back to the beginning, to the man who built this dream from an idea, a quiet Frenchman who changed English football forever. When Arsène Wenger arrived at Arsenal, English football was a different world. The game was fast, physical, and sometimes brutal. Diets were poor, tactics were basic, and sports science was an afterthought. Wenger brought something new, something foreign, something revolutionary. He believed in technique over brute force, in nutrition over late-night drinks, in vision over tradition. They called him the Professor, and many laughed at his methods, but soon no one was laughing. Slowly, he built a masterpiece. He assembled a team that blended steel and silk, warriors and artists in the same shirt. At the heart of it stood Patrick Vieira, the towering captain with a lion's heart. Around him, the brilliance of Dennis Bergkamp, the elegance of Robert Pires, the pace and fire of Henry, and the defensive wall of Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré. Each man different, yet all united under Wenger's philosophy: beautiful football that wins. By 2003, Arsenal had already tasted glory. They had won the double in 1998 and again in 2002. But in 2003, something broke. The team lost the league to Manchester United despite leading by 8 points. Wenger was furious, not at his players, but at himself. He vowed that next season would be different. In a moment that now feels prophetic, he told the press, "We can go the whole season unbeaten." The room laughed, the journalists smiled, some even mocked him. But what they didn't know was that the professor wasn't predicting, he was planning. From the first whistle of that season, something felt different. Arsenal were sharper, hungrier, and untouchable. Their football was fast, flowing, and ruthless. They didn't just beat teams, they broke them apart. Their counterattacks were poetry in motion, 4 passes from one end to the other, ending with Henry gliding the ball into the corner like it was the easiest thing in the world. By Christmas, Arsenal were unbeaten. By March, the whispers began. Could they really do it? Could they go all the way? But the road was far from smooth. There were nights of doubt, moments when the dream almost slipped away. At Old Trafford, tensions exploded. A missed penalty by Ruud van Nistelrooy in the final minutes sparked chaos. Martin Keown screamed in triumph. Vieira and Ferdinand clashed. It was madness, but through the fury, Arsenal stood their ground. They didn't just escape with a draw. They made a statement. They would not bow to anyone. As the season neared its end, the weight of history pressed harder. Every match felt like walking a tightrope above greatness. When they faced Tottenham, a draw was enough to secure the title, and fittingly, they did it at White Hart Lane, the home of their fiercest rivals. That day, Arsenal were crowned champions, but there was still one more test left: finishing unbeaten. May 15th, 2004, Highbury. Arsenal versus Leicester City. When the final whistle blew, the impossible became reality. Arsenal had done it. 38 games, 26 wins, 12 draws, and 0 defeats. The only team in Premier League history to go an entire season unbeaten. It wasn't just a record. It was a revolution. Proof that football could be played beautifully and still win. For Wenger, it was vindication. For the players, immortality. And for the fans, it was a memory etched forever in their hearts. Time moves on. Stadiums change, players come and go, but every generation that wears the Arsenal red carries the legacy of those who came before, the legacy of the Invincibles. They were more than champions. They were visionaries who redefined what was possible. Because in a sport built on victory and defeat, they proved that sometimes perfection isn't just a dream. Sometimes it wears red and white.